Day 180, the Fairmont Hotel. Ask anybody in San Francisco what the fanciest hotel is, and they'll probably automatically tell you it's the Fairmont. I think it's actually more of a tiered question. I think there's a tier of very fancy top level hotels that include the Fairmont, the Palace Hotel, St. Francis. I would not include the Hilton. I know everybody sees the Hilton anyway. So, why I think the Fairmont is kind of the default answer is because that's where the president stays. There's the presidential suite. However, it's it's a few things. It's a security issue. It's literally at the top of Nob Hill. So I live like down the hill from the Fairmont, by the way, so I know this neighborhood very well. And it's much easier to keep the most important person in the country secure from the top of a hill where you can see all vantage points, right? So security issue. It is a accessibility convenience issue. So even though you are at the top of a hill, and that sucks if you're walking, Nob Hill is still removed enough in that sense, but it's still it's downtown. It's still very close to, like, boom, Union Square, literally just up the hill, boom, financial district. So you're still in it, but not in it. So I didn't know this, but the Fairmont was actually named after a US senator by his two daughters, and guess how this man built his fortune? Mining, like many of San Francisco, maybe many of the US's early politicians, specifically and particularly those from Nevada and California. So anyway, 1906 earthquake and fires. The Fairmont is, the interior is almost entirely destroyed, which I thought was very fascinating because one of the flexes of Nob Hill is that they are on some bedrock, like Russian Hill. So a lot of those structures at, like, the top, my understanding is that they were more structurally sound than the ones at the bottom. But even at the top of the hill, structures, earthquake and fires, they were affected. So anyway, a very, very well-known architect who I'm absolutely going to do a video about, her name was Julia Morgan. She did a lot. She did the interior, remodeled the interior of the Fairmont after the earthquake and fires. Tony Bennett, I Left My Heart in San Francisco, was performed from the Venetian room of the Fairmont Hotel, and there's a statue of him out front of the Fairmont. So I've covered this, but the Fairmont's like across the street from the Huntington Mansion or the Crocker Mansion, the former one. But there's basically four hotels, or there were four hotels at the top of Nob Hill, each roughly affiliated with one of the Silver Barons. So there's Stanford Court, the Huntington Hotel, which is no longer around or is closed, the Fairmont, and then Johns Hopkins. So anyway, a little bit about the Fairmont. Smack dab, heart of Nob Hill, San Francisco, California, bougiest hotel we've got.